is going on, everybody? This is Trudger MC, and today we are talking about horror movie hot takes. Okay, now as an example, I'm going to be using Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th, but this can really apply to any of them. I'm just kind of using that as a specific thing of, here are some of mine. Yeah, I'm not really going to sit here and define what a hot take is. I'm sure you know what that is, and I'm sure that you have some as well. I guess I'll go over some of mine, and then we'll just kind of talk about it. With with the Nightmare on Elm Street series, my hot take movie is Freddy's Dead. I think this movie is really fun. But then again, I know that this movie is popular. Okay, this is why this is the first one I'm talking about. I know that there are a lot of people that think Freddy's Dead is fun with how ridiculous it is, because, well, it is. But at the same time, there are a lot of people that say I can't stand this movie because it's too ridiculous. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. Which, yeah, fair enough. But that was kind of the point of this movie. Yeah. So there's that. And then in terms of Friday the 13th, we got, Jason Takes Manhattan, which, by the way, this is a really cool cover art here. Really fun. But yeah, this is Jason Takes Manhattan, which it's a popular pick for one of the worst Friday the 13th movies. It's not my pick for least favorite, but the first time going through the Friday the 13th movies, this one was one of my least favorites. It wasn't the absolute least favorite for me, but it was kind of bottom of the barrel for me. But since then, I've come around to it, and I think it's kind of fun. And if you take the Manhattan part out of the title, I think the movie can be a lot of fun. Okay, so just get it through your head that this is not a movie about him in New York. This is a movie of him on a boat, and it works. Okay, I actually like Jason on a boat, and I think he actually looks kind of cool and all of that with him being wet and all of that. I know a lot of people didn't really like that, but I thought it worked. It was different, it was interesting, and I thought it was okay. Would I have preferred a different kind of movie, especially with one with a New York City in the title? I don't know if that's a city, but you know what I mean. Yeah, would I have preferred that? Probably, but I still like the movie that we got. All right, so there's that. And then we come to the big one when it comes to hot takes, and that is that my favorite Halloween movies are the theatrical cuts of the Rob Zombie movies. And I did a whole video talking about these. If y'all haven't seen that, y'all can check that out. But yeah, these are the theatrical cuts of the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. And these are actually my favorite Halloween movies. So, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are like, how dare you say that? Well, yeah, because, well, we're here to talk about hot takes. So there you go. Those are my hot takes. But I'm not just here to talk about them and be like, here's what I think. What do you think? Because, yeah, if y'all want to share some hot takes of like, I like this movie or I don't like that movie, whatever it might be, you can definitely do that. But I'm here to say that hot takes can actually make the horror genre more fun and more interesting, okay? Because, like, if everyone had the same opinion of, literally everyone says that this movie is the best, this movie is the worst, and they just kind of left it at that, then it wouldn't really be that fresh. It wouldn't really be that interesting. So it's good to have the discussion, okay? Because with Halloween in particular, like everyone says, the original one is the best. And I feel like objectively speaking, it probably is. Okay, I don't think the other movies quite matched that whole thing. Yeah. But regardless, that is the situation with that. But for me, out of a Halloween movie, I've seen the original. I think it's okay. I do like it decently enough, but it's not my favorite. It's not one that I gravitate toward all that much. For me, if I'm in the mood for Halloween, Michael Myers, all of that, I'm going to put this one on, okay? And I understand that there are a lot of people, they don't like this, okay? Believe me, I know. I know a lot of people don't like this movie, okay? I am well aware of that. But this is a thing of, for me, I think it's cool for what it is, and I like how different it is and how unique it is, and yet it still kind of feels like a Michael Myers movie. It just did a lot of different stuff with it. But then again, some of the other movies did different stuff, okay? So I don't really see it as that big of an issue. But yeah, I understand why people don't like it. I'm just saying, for me, this is what I like out of a Halloween movie. And so I get that that's, that's an unpopular opinion, but I feel like that makes it more interesting because you do have some people that actually do really like the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. And there are some people that basically say, I won't go near those movies. I've seen them. I'm never going to watch them ever again. And that's fine. Okay. Here's the thing with opinions is that opinions are subjective. Okay. I can say what I think. You can say what you think. And when it comes to opinions and preferences and tastes, neither one of us is right. Okay. So let's just call it for what it is. Okay. So I can say that, I like this and you like that. And that's okay. All right. It's like food, okay? Nobody has to like the exact same type of food, okay? There are some foods that I really like. There are some foods that I don't like at all. And that's okay. All right? So what I think with hot takes when it comes to the horror genre in particular is that it makes the conversations more interesting. That's really what I'm trying to get at, okay? Yes, I think it would be fun to share some of my hot takes with horror movies, and I could definitely share hot takes with other genres too, like superhero movies. Got some hot takes with superhero movies too, so if y'all want to see that, you can let me know. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of why I decided to do this. I know this is kind of a really long explanation for that, but that's just what I felt like doing today. So talk about hot takes and how it can make things interesting. Because like I said, it adds to the conversation, okay? Because if everyone says just one thing and it's only that, that's not much of a conversation. You're basically just stating something and everyone is saying it, okay? So I think hot takes can make things interesting. And even if it's a thing of like, like it encourages some thought and some reconsideration of, is it really as bad or as good as those other people say? Or like even if a thing of like you change your mind on it, because I changed my mind about some of these movies. All right, I changed my mind on Jason Takes Manhattan. I changed my mind on the Rob Zombie Halloween movies because I saw the director's cut version of those, and I do not like the director's cut of either of these movies at all. But the theatrical cut, I don't know what it is. I guess it's just like the few changes that they did. Makes me like the theatrical cuts way more. But the director's cut, I don't like the director's cut at all. But yeah, so I guess that's what I'm trying to say is that it encourages uniqueness and diversity and all of that and more conversation. So that's really what I'm trying to get at. So y'all agree with that? Do you agree with any of my hot takes or, anything like that? Do be sure to leave a like. Let me know in the comments what you think. What are some of your horror hot takes of like, I like this movie or I don't like that movie, whatever it might be. And yeah, you can also let me know if you want me to do a superhero hot take ranking because I can definitely do that. But yeah, so subscribe and stay tuned for other stuff that I might be doing. But other than all that, I do hope that you enjoy it. I do hope that I'll see you all later.